channel, Weetzer's Whiskey and Watches. So I'm on location today. I'm at a special place up in Lynden, Washington, which is just north from where I live, where my bar is. So I got some special guests today. We're at the Bellwood. Yeah, so sorry.
Okay, no, come on in.
Yeah, come on in.
What do you want a sample of?
The gin and the aged gin.
All right, so these guys are so busy, we actually had somebody come in and want a taste of this good stuff. So I'm with the owner, Eric, and I'm with the head distiller, Chris. I came up here last week and met you guys. Thanks for the hospitality of showing me everything, and I did a taste test of all your stuff. So tell me a little bit about this orchard distillery. What do you call it, a farm?
Yeah, it's primarily a farm. That's where our heart is with the agriculture. It's kind of a multifaceted company in the sense that we do some agritourism here. We also have pumpkin patch and things like that. But we primarily an apple farm. We have over 25,000 apple trees here in western Washington.
Gotcha, yeah. And then you let me fly the drone over that last time I was up here. I was amazed because it kept going, you know, it was bigger than I thought it was.
Yeah.
Because you hop over that little bridge and you don't see until, and then you have that, where your house is the kitchen and stuff that you guys do a lot of. So you guys have a restaurant and...
Restaurant, a cafe, kind of a gift shop here in Lynden, but over on the farm side, we have a USDA kitchen where we make all of our special peanut butter, caramels, apple pies, and things like that. And we have a cidery over there where we press all of our cider from apples.
Yeah, that's great. I saw the machine. Hopefully one day I come back and see that machine running. Because that was pretty fascinating to me. With my machinist background, I get, wow, you know. So. And then Chris, tell me about how you got into distilling.
Well, for years I've been started out with, going as a home brewer, getting a home brewing. So you kind of crawl down that rabbit hole, and then you start turning your garage into a brewery. You won't let the wife park the car in there anymore. So just the fascination of being able to make something, especially alcohol, from grains and stuff like that. And then distilling came a little bit later for, the bad batch of beer you make. You got to do something with it. So you distill it down, make it into, cleaner or whatever. And then a little over 2 years ago, one of my friends told me about this place and that they were looking for a distiller. And I came in and talked to Eric and Blake and just talking to them, our mindsets are like the same on trying new things, expanding, just the ideas and, creating new stuff.
Right.
And they've already, the distiller's been here, and it was the first apple farm to make alcohol from their apples in the state of Washington.
Yeah, see, and then when I did the taste test too, you could tell, I being new at this, not at whiskey drinking, but being new at getting into the local distilleries and stuff. It's just impressive, the taste, and it sells itself.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's neat. I mean, we have people that, you can obviously see we're filming, but they want to come in and taste.
Yeah, people have said that this is healthy spirits.
Oh, there you go.
I think they like the freshness. We're a unique advantage compared to other distillers in that we have all our own raw materials.
Yeah,
and we're able to have unique apples come through, and Chris does an amazing job. It's just creating things with some of our cool apple varieties that we have.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I was back there, I stole some of your apples. I actually got a couple of Asian pears too, and then it took a couple of days. But they were as big as my head.
Yeah.
But they were good.
Yeah.
Everything was so good. And then I think when I got here last time, you had just dropped the tarts. So your opening day or whatever was last week.
Last weekend, we have our Suguru apple, which is a Japanese apple. It's kind of a farm favorite, and everyone loves going out there and picking it, and you pick.
Nice. And then primarily, what apples do you use to brew with?
So to distill, a lot of it, like the brandies, we will do. The farm will give me different mixture of apples that they juice. For our vodka, primarily it's just
Honeycrisp. So good, because I brought one today.
We have a magic formula that we use for our cider that we distribute to all local stores and all.
Okay.
And it's called 2 reds and a green.
Oh yeah.
So we have 2 red apples, usually sweeter apples, and a green apple, which is more of a tart apple.
Gotcha.
And everyone loves our cider. It's delicious.
So wow. So you spend enough attention to, you know, even your own mixture.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic. So I got to taste your apple smoked bourbon, and I was so impressed. And so I did a lot of homework and a lot of concoctions, some not so good, and then I finally came to one. So I'm here today just to make you a custom apple smoked old fashioned. And so hopefully we'll see how much you like it, and be honest. If you don't, I mean, we'll go. But
I'll be honest.
Yeah. So one of the things I did do, instead of, I was going to use just regular simple syrups and stuff, but I ended up getting from another watcher whiskey cured honey. So I brewed, or I concocted my own honey whiskey syrup. So this stuff's, I want you to try it by itself too. Obviously I got your apple. What I'm going to do with one of your apples, I'm just going to cut them kind of fancy and as a garnish, but I'm going to brulee them in sugar. So I'm going to smoke the apple, and you'll be able to smell that when you're drinking it. And then I tried other like orange bitters. I tried, which was really good. But the one that set it up the most was the spicy Angostura bitters. So it's just the most simple bitters, but it's got the most spices in it. So it's an aromatic bitters versus, you know, the tasting ones. But you'll taste those spices. And then I couldn't help it, but I ended up getting some of the bourbon soaked cherries. So I'll top that off with that, you know. But I'll put that in. I won't muddle it, but it'll be put in there as an accent. So, all right. With no further ado. I'll get started on mixing the drink. Oh, and today's watch, since these guys make their own stuff, I put in what we call a Seiko mod, and I got my own watch that I make, or I made myself. So it's a homage to a Rolex root beer, is what they call it. So like I was telling you, it satisfies that itch of not having a Rolex. So, but I get a ton of compliments on it, so I'll showcase that.
That's awesome.
All right, let's get started. All right, so like I was saying, we're gonna use your bourbon, apple smoked or applewood smoked, which if I wasn't introduced to this, my friend came up here and bought me a bottle of this, and instantly, I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't help myself but to crack it open at work. But I was only able to smell it. So, but once we got it down there, and I got it home, once I started trying it, and I kind of got geeky about it and used like a whiskey glass, you know, and instantly though the smoke, because normally I smoke most of my old fashioned. So, but we're going to use 1.5 ounces of this for the main ingredient. And then I was telling you about this honey. Another watcher or listener or YouTube subscriber ended up sending me some whiskey cured honey, but from their own farm. So, but like the home farm, you know. So I guess they have a small garden and stuff. So this is another thing, and I cannot tell you how good this is. So, and I'll give you guys a taste of this also. But I'm going to use, because it's a little diluted, I'm going to use 3/4 ounce of this. And then the best spice, because bitters, there's 3 ingredients to an old fashioned. It's just sugars, alcohol, and bitters. But the best bitters I could find was the Angostura, and it is so good. But 4 dashes of Angostura bitters. Now, here's the secret, the dilution. So getting this diluted, it's got to be about a good 30-second stir. And then notice how I keep my hand on here. If you have a really nice crystal glass or stir glass like that, you can feel it and see the difference in the chill. So I'll keep it here till it's almost unbearable to touch, because it just gets so cold. And that's usually your indicator that, hey, this is ready to go. And this is a really boring part, so I speed it up on the camera. And these round cubes seem to do a really good job because they stay cold longer. And that's it. So now, with that set aside, I'm going to do something special with these apples. And then this is going to be my garnish. So I'm going to stick them first and put them all the way through. And this will just add that much more flavor without smoking it, because you've already got that incorporated into this whiskey. So I'm gonna take these with just plain white sugar and just cover them on one side, because you don't need to do it on both sides. So now I'll take my handy dandy torch and we will brulee this until it gets to that ultimate crispiness. And then sometimes I turn this up a little bit because this is more of a cocktail smoking torch, but it does work really good. And then the secret to this is to get it as brown as possible, because it caramelizes and then crisps up. So, and then this will take, again, probably a little bit longer. You can start to smell it once it starts caramelizing, and it just makes your taste buds go crazy. But the more it bubbles like that, the better it gets. So see how it's starting to caramel like that? There, one sec. I do have one of those bigger, like, industrial propane torches. And they seem to work pretty good, but sometimes, you know, you want the apple to stay crispy too, because this is the garnish. There we go, that's getting there. That's what we're looking for. That's about perfect. All right, let that cool off just for a second. So, first glass, fancy dancy round cube.
Just balls.
Yeah, nice. And we will garnish with the pour of the whiskey. Oh yeah, that's a good pour. And then there's one more thing that I found out that goes really good with this, and it's that cherry. So just putting this cherry in there. And do you have a toothpick? You know what? I'll use this. And these are bourbon soaked cherries, so it just gives that much more flavor. And I leave the stem because then you can pick that out. And don't do anything with it, just drop it in there and then top this off. And then it just hangs there. And there we have it. So that's it.
Nice.
So now, okay, so now that we got that, who wants to try it first?
I'll go for it.
Eric? All right, there you go. It's all yours.
Yeah. Hey, whoa.
And that's fine. It falls in there. It's just more flavor. So.
Yeah.
But this is my patented old fashioned. So
There you go.
cheers.
Oh wow, so good.
Nice.
Try this.
Oh, pass it around. So that's
color with the look.
that's your artwork right there.
Yeah,
Wow.
really good. It's just a subtle smokiness. It's not
Oh, that is-
overwhelming.
yeah, that is
so
really
good.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
Wish you guys could taste.
Yeah, I know.
I'm looking forward to eating that apple.
Yeah, I know. So that's the other thing too. So I'll try it too. I don't care. Oh yeah. See, without smoking it, the smoke is there.
Yeah.
Because usually my son sent me that smoker, and you set it on there, and you can use like cherry woods and apple woods and all that other stuff. But when I saw that, I wanted to incorporate no smoke and just use the sweetness and
And the natural smoky character that's coming from our applewood smoked bourbon.
Yeah.
I mean, from us smoking it and it's, starting in the raw form, while it's still the corn and grain, smoking it then, and then how that smoke carries over through the whole process.
Oh, it's unbelievable. And
2 years later.
someday I'd like to come up and see, how you incorporate that. That'd be really cool to see that. But like I said, if we just support our local distilleries and go around and each place has their own recipes. So if I did the science and just said, hey, I'll mix this and try this, and then they all have their own signature drink from it, or I make a signature drink, but
We call it velvet old fashioned.
yeah, absolutely, a velvet old fashioned. Hey, you heard it here. We're gonna copyright that one. So, man, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys letting me do this. I hope I'll keep this relationship up with you guys.
Yeah.
I'd love to. Yeah, actually try that apple really quick before it disappears.
It's gonna be a little awkward on film to try this. Oh wow.
So good. So awesome. Yeah, that's even my wife. You know, she was like, "What the hell?" She goes, "That's the best drink you've ever made." So, and see how it would add, and it's easy to do. So, and then sometimes you could use like a brown sugar, so then it'd be more like a molasses coating, because some people might prefer that. So, but yeah, that's just the way to go. I just think that's man. So, man, well, great.
Yeah, good.
Sure appreciate you
Thanks
all
for
the
coming
time.
out.
Thanks so much. Yeah, like and subscribe, everybody. Bellwood's Distillery and Farms. Please come up here and visit these guys. Nothing but hospitality, nothing but good things. I walked in here this morning, and your breakfast thing, your restaurant was packed.
Yeah.
And all your employees are running around like ants. And I even saw you working back there.
Yeah, that's right.
So I mean, that's pretty important.
Takes a village.
One thing I have to say though is, it surprised me, and I'm happy to see this, you know, you being the owner operator of this place. When I had left from the first visit I was up here, I was like, oh, I hope I get to say goodbye to Eric, you know, and it's like, I don't know, maybe I'll see him. And I'm heading on the way out, and you have a orange vest on directing traffic.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm impressed. That's really cool.
I know, I'm a big tracker on because every time I want to need him, I can't find him. But I'm hunting for him all across the farm.
Oh, yeah.
Well, see, his truck's out there, but then I don't know where Eric's at. And then all of a sudden I'll see him driving a tractor trailer, taking people out to the farm and back.
Absolutely. But one of the things about running a quality business or anything quality is surrounding yourself by greatness. And you have to be a part of all of that. So it's just unbelievable. And so witnessing that myself from the outside, I can't appreciate how much I enjoy just visiting and seeing that stuff. Your wife is up here working all the time. I got to meet her, and she recognized me when I came in, so I was like, oh, so man, I guess I'm part of the family now.
Yeah, we have a great team. For us, community is really important. Community food systems, and so we hire a lot of the people we hire just right down the street from us.
Absolutely. And in the future, to wrap this up, I would love to also do the rest of this.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to make some more concoctions.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm a whiskey channel, but whiskey started this. So I would also just love to endorse your other stuff, your award-winning stuff.
Yeah, and when you do the other distilleries, you know, they're going to have, you know, their own, like, you know, for us, our pumpkin is you know, our big flagship. You know, everybody knows that, wants that. And other distilleries will have theirs too, which will be different.
Nice. Yeah, and that'll be the character of each drink, you know, because a good old fashioned should never be the same, you know. And I like to mix it up. Like one day I want some apple smoke flavor, you know. One day I just want a good rye, you know. Everybody has their favorites, but you should be able to branch out, you know. And I think that's what these local distilleries do best, you know. And I think that's important. So awesome. Well, thanks, guys. Like and subscribe. Bellwood Farms, you guys got to come up here, meet Eric, meet Chris. He'll be your taste tester, so he'll line you up and get you on the way. So appreciate it. So welcome back to my bar. It looks like I messed up really bad. So I got so excited with that interview that I had the opportunity to do that. I totally forgot to review the watch while I was up there. Those guys were so great. Hopefully it helps them out with getting more people up there for them and stuff. And boy, being sponsored by those guys now is just unbelievable. So Chris and Eric, I thank you guys a bunch, but let's get to reviewing this watch that I brought all the way up there and never even hardly mentioned anything about. So this is the Seiko SKX mod that I did in a rose gold that is a montage towards the root beer Rolex, so the Submariner, or GMT, I believe it is. So, all right, let's get busy and let me show you the specs on this. So there it is. So this is my Seiko mod. I've always wanted one of these GMT, Rolex GMTs in that rose gold color. So eventually someday I'll get up there and get a hold of one of those, but it's a typical SKX. So I ordered all the components and then put it together myself. So including the hands, including the bezel, what else? The dial, the case, the band. So everything's just custom, but it's still Seiko guts. It's got the SKX, you know, standard size. The style is a dive watch still. It's got a date and weekday complications in the windows. The hand's luminous, so I put in the Mercedes hands, and then the indices, and then the rotating bezel is also, it's luminous. 21 joules, it's an automatic movement. Our frequency is 21,600 BPH. So it's a lower frequency. The movement is an S2 or an 7S2S. Yeah, that's the caliber. It's got a 40-hour power reserve, which does really good. The bezel's obviously custom, so that's more of a brass color, rose gold color now. So dial color still black. Case material steel. It doesn't have the numbers. It's just the indices are super luminous, so they glow really good. Crystal is mineral glass. Let's see, mineral glass. Oh, water resistance, still 200 meter water resistance. And I had this one tested, so the case is tight. It works really good. Case diameter is 42 millimeters. Lug width still 22 millimeters, and the case thickness is right at 13 millimeters. So great watch, one of the classics. But I just spruced her up a little bit, sort of like this whiskey is. So, all right, that's it for that one. All right, the video is finally complete. Like I said, I got so nervous, just totally forgot everything about the watch. So hopefully we won't let that happen again, and get that first one out of my system and get the jitters out. So again, you get that opportunity to go up to Lynden and visit the Bellwood Farms. It is absolutely fantastic, and taste test everything. You just don't know what you're gonna like. So pretty soon we're gonna have all of that right here, and I'll do a review on all their alcohol that they serve up there. So other than that, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I got more stuff on the way, so, and we'll keep this thing going. So in the meantime, I'm gonna enjoy a drink. So cheers, everybody. Oh my goodness, this is the stuff, man. Bruleed apples. Absolutely delicious.